So, gentlemen, tonight's first topic is Medicare and the growth of Medicare. And what our audience would like to know is explain what happens to Medicare and to our budget if we do nothing, and explain what happens if we implement the Ryan Plan. And do you agree with the Ryan Plan? And if not, what is your alternative? Please, Newt Gingrich.
Well, look, let me, is this on?
It's supposed to be on.
It should be on now.
Yeah. Test.
Can you hear me? Yeah, mine is not on. That's a disadvantage. Is this on? This is on, okay.
Test.
That's all right. Can I go back to 3 minutes? Anyway.
You can take all the time.
No, don't say that. I'm a college teacher. It's 55 minutes. They'll get bored. They'll walk out. Let me start because I just want to blow apart part of the premise, okay? If we're stupid enough to do nothing, we'll eventually resemble Greece. We'll just go bankrupt, okay? So it's not complicated. Paul Ryan came up with some very good ideas, and one of them is that he would fundamentally change. Let me see that. This is going with it. He would fundamentally change Medicare by going ultimately for younger Americans into a premium support model. Now, I favor, as a choice, a premium support model, but I don't favor a mandatory premium support model. And my reason is very simple. I want us to get back into a habit of giving the people of the United States a range of choices so that you are empowered, not the bureaucrats and not the politicians. And if you believe in the free market, we should be able to design a series of choices where the marketplace rapidly beats out the bureaucratic system, and people go to it because it is better for them, not because they've been compelled by politicians to go there. I also think, as a practical matter, if you're dealing with something the size of Medicare, you can't coerce people because they'll defeat you. The fact is, the American people aren't going to let politicians impose on them. Look at the reaction all of us have had to Obamacare, where we said, no, you're not going to impose on us. And the overwhelming majority want to repeal it. So my argument is, we have to come up with solutions that are actually better. The people say, yeah, Walmart doesn't say pass a law so people have to come here on Wednesdays. Walmart says it's our job to offer better value so people decide voluntarily to come here because they think they're getting a better deal. And I think we have to approach how we reshape the country. The scale of change we need is so large, and it is going to take defeating so many entrenched elements of the left, that we have to have a strategy that always starts with the American people deciding that we represent a better future. And that's how I would approach it. Second, both in Medicare and Medicaid, and I'll come back to this 3 or 4 times tonight, you have to get to a better health system in order to get to an affordable health system. Example, we published a book at the Center for Health Transformation several years ago called Stop Paying the Crooks. Now, you'd think that's a title that even in Washington, people would have figured out was interesting. Medicare and Medicaid, because the federal government is such a bad administrator, pays between $70 and $120 billion a year. Think about this, between $70 and $120 billion a year to crooks. Now, when I say crooks, I mean a dentist who files 982 procedures a day. Now, the super committee is not looking at this. Yet, by itself, this would get them over half the savings they're trying to get. But it requires thinking about government, not just cutting it or increasing it. And getting people in Washington to think is a very big challenge.
At this particular juncture, I'm supposed to have a minute to disagree with something that he said, but I don't. So I would like to instead, I don't. What I would rather do is give me 3 minutes to add a historical perspective.
Please.
Since it's the 2 of us, we can change the rules as we go. I remember talking about Medicare when I first went to Godfather's Pizza as president, because that was when I really realized that the things that we could control inside the company were a lot easier to control than the things outside the company in order to stay profitable and stay in business. Medicare started in 1965. Our government told us that it was going to cost $6 billion to roll it out. We were also told that by 1990, it was going to cost $12 billion because of population growth, because of inflation. But in 1990, they missed the target of $12 billion. It wasn't 12, it wasn't 24, it wasn't 50, it was $109 billion, a 900% miss. How many businesses can survive missing a target like that? So that highlights another problem that we have, which is long-term government projections about what a program is going to cost have never been right. Name one. They've never been right. Now, that being said, I believe, as Speaker Gingrich believes, that we can't reshuffle Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security. We must restructure. And there's a guiding principle that is embedded in the Ryan's plan that I love. I like the Ryan's plan. I haven't found anything in it yet that I don't disagree with, but here's a fundamental principle that's in there, and that is, if you want to solve a problem, go to the source closest to the problem. It's not Washington, D.C. It's go to the states, go to the doctors, go to the patients. That's what the Ryan plan attempts to do by allowing those Medicare accounts for younger workers as an option. So that's an overriding guiding principle that I look for in any of these ideas. And there's another thing that we've learned for decades, and now finally we're talking ideas on this table. Number two, people spend other people's money more reckless than they spend their own money. So let's put it down to let it be their money, and they'll spend it better. That's what we got to do. Get it out of Washington, D.C. And according to the clock, I have 9 seconds left, and I'm not making this up. Politicians have overpromised for decades. We've got to get real because, as Congressman Cain pointed out, we are headed